Well, this is it. Finally, my spring garden tour. Welcome back to the Frugal Gardener's Homestead Garden. For those of you who are regulars who have been with me for the last 6 or 7 years, and welcome to those of you who are here for the first time. I have been spending a lot of time working on my new enclosed, what I call my oasis garden, but there's been a lot more going on that I haven't been showing or talking to you guys about. And today is the day. I am a homesteader in West Virginia in my mid 70s, and I garden in zone 7A. So today we're going to cover all the things that I've been working on that I haven't been talking about. Let's start here. This is purple radish. What I'm doing this year is again another experiment. I am not just putting what I'm planting, I'm putting the harvest date. So we're into the last week of May, and radishes grow pretty quick. So I should be able to harvest these in around mid-July. Yeah, that's about right. So, okay, what I have done to bring you guys up to speed, I had plants all over their place, pretty much over, I would say, quarter of an acre, and I've had problems with deer, and now, on top of the deer, there's been raccoons, there's been possums, there's been owls. Well, the owls are not a problem with the garden, they're more of a problem with my chickens. And more recently, we have new visitors. Now I have rabbits. So a lot of my garden that was spread out is kind of in one place now. This you might recognize again if you are a regular, and this doesn't look very organized, and that's because I'm trying to wait to get the seeds from out of here before I pull these. This is all going to be squash. So what I did was I did starters in the pots. There's 2 here, there's 2 here, there's 3 here. This yellow one has got to be dealt with. The weather has been it's been good in a way because we've had a lot of rain, but on the other hand, it has been cool at night, which is not good, obviously. And probably the next time you see these, if I get impatient enough, I'm going to probably just rip these out. And I believe there's 14 containers here, and that's all going to be squash. I've shown you guys in a previous video. I did a video called Food Insurance, where in addition to my regular garden, I'm growing things that will come back year after year that can feed me and my family for anywhere from 3 years up. Behind me, there's a chestnut tree that will live to be over 100 years old. It's going to way surpass my lifespan. So these are cherry tomatoes. These are cherry tomatoes. These are cucumbers. Some of these I started indoors. You can see these are starting to bud. And I'm not as far along as my buddy Keisha H, who already has tomatoes growing on hers. I believe she's in North Carolina. I'm in West Virginia, so it's going to take me a while longer. These are cucumbers that are starting to grow. Over here, this is chamomile. I have 2 chamomiles, not to be confused with this pot here. This window box are wildflowers. This behind here are wildflowers. Now, back when I was younger and thought I was being clever, I used to tell people if I can't eat it, I don't grow it. Well, that's changed because there's not as many bees around, and I have to do what I can to try and get these bees to come into my area. I'm going to do a video on that pretty soon, but right now, to give you the short version, I need to bring bees, butterflies, anything that will pollinate my garden into this garden, and that's why I have those two. I have other areas where I am growing things that will bring in the pollinators. Uh, these are onions, not this. This is lavender, which is going to be moved. But these are tropia onions, which is kind of, I'm not going to go into a really deep explanation, but they come from a certain area in Italy. And this is a reminder not to throw things away so quickly. This looked dead to me. I planted lavender in here. This lavender part obviously is not doing well, but look here, and you'll see I actually do have lavender coming up. I better speed this up because I feel raindrops. It's been raining off and on for like the past week. This is bell pepper that I planted March the 12th. You'll find containers with potatoes all over the place because I had so many potatoes, didn't want to waste them, and some of them just the eyes that I cut and replanted. This is another bell pepper. This is cilantro, which I may replant because I expected it to do better. And this, again, in terms of my future food or food insurance, is my second. Well, I have 3 of these grapevines, and I'm just showing you the first one now, but I have 2 more that I will hopefully show you before this video is over. This is something that I've shown you guys before. This is obviously a work in progress. I had cardboard over here. You can still see some of it. And the frugal son-in-law basically reminded me that as long as I keep this cardboard down, it's not going to dry out. The purpose of the cardboard was to keep the grass from coming back. So I don't have enough soil. So I'll put this down to show you and to start, because I'm going to put more squash here. I'm going to run this all the way across here. And in these inside these cinder blocks, this is all lavender. Lavender, 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 because at the end of the day, before this year is out, I hope to have at least 100 lavender plants. And this is my little lavender factory here. I replanted these because these are the ones that did not do well last year. So if that, once you, first thing you don't succeed, you know the expression, try again. These are more cherry tomatoes. And these are the lavenders that did do well last year. You can see, I'll move this rake out of the way. You can see where the lavender is actually grown. This was planted last year. You can see it here, here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Some of these plants have multiple plants of lavender all through the entrance of my garden that I'm going to talk to you guys about later. The frugal son-in-law was here over the holidays. And man, he worked. He worked for 2.5 days. I asked him to do 2 things for me. He did like 6. One of the things that he did would save my back and save me time was to till these beds. This is the small bed out of the 3. And I brought something new. This is the reason why I hope you guys subscribe, because I'm always trying something new and different. This is French sorrel. Well, it's going to be. I haven't planted it yet. I have to add some nutrients into this, but this is going to be French sorrel. Why am I growing French sorrel? I'm growing French sorrel because I wanted to grow something that was going to come back every year. So from everything that I've researched, this is supposed to come back every year. And that's also in my plan of growing food for insurance. So I told you things are spread out, and they're going to be a lot less spread out by the time I'm done, but that's because I have over 20 plants in an enclosed area now. I told you guys I have more potatoes. These are actually white potatoes. And in here, if you look, you'll see this is my second. That's got to go. But this and this, I have cucumbers coming up in here. They've been coming up slow. And again, it's because of the weather. So something else that's going to be interesting this year, this is my second area where the frugal son-in-law, the frugal son-in-law and the frugal daughter, the dynamic gardening duel, spent a lot of time. There was a massive tree right here. It fell in my front yard about a month ago. Took out a power line. It was a big mess. And they spent hours cutting up the branches, cutting up the tree, and giving me firewood, future firewood. At any rate, this is garden bit number 2. What I'm going to do is put this frame over it, and then I'm going to put netting over it, and this way I can grow my sweet potatoes in here because I have a lot of sweet potato slips. Again, if you saw the other video, you'll see how many slips I've grown. So I'm going to make use of those by putting the excess there. So this is my frugal nephew's small patch. He's 9, and this is lettuce. So I'm growing lettuce, and I'm growing tomatoes, and I'm growing carrots. You get where I'm going here. We're talking salad. So this was the first. Well, I said there were 3 beds. He did this one first. This was the major one. This is the bed. This is the raised garden that was put together by my son. And this was the holdup. I have plants that are not doing well right now. They're sweet potato. They're basically sweet potato slips that should have been in this ground probably 2 weeks ago, but the ground wasn't ready. This has all been tilled, obviously, with the exception of over here. Down here are white potatoes again, but check this out. Last fall, I planted elephant garlic all along here, and there it is. I overwintered it, and it's doing really great. I'm going to cut these tops off so that the energy and nutrients will go into the soil, into the garlic itself. But just to give you kind of a look, a close-up of how these look. These are called scapes. A lot of people use them to cook with. And this isn't very good, but there's 1, 2, 3, onion plants in here. And all this here are potatoes that I planted those maybe a month or so ago. So those have a way to go. This is all going to be breaked out. Nutrients are going to be added in. And this is where my sweet potatoes are going to live and grow and thrive and give us sweet potatoes for this fall. You've heard me mention before that sweet potatoes have gone from about 70 some cents a pound, 80 some cents a pound to the last time I checked, when I went to Walmart, they were $1.18. And with the tariffs, that's going to go probably even higher. I have no idea of how much they're going to cost. But moving on, this is my work area, so it's a little bit junky. This is my other chamomile. I told you I had two. This is the second one. And now this is kind of my secret area. This is on my porch, and it's on my porch for a reason. I need to keep the deer away. These little containers here are lavender. These two are also bell peppers. You can see in here, those are bell peppers. This is my, well, I think I've shown you one. This is my second grapevine. Not to be confused with my first grapevine. This is the one that I purchased originally, and I need to add some nutrients because you can see that this is a little bit pale. It needs more nutrients. And my blueberries. What's left of my blueberries, because we have been picking off of this and eating these berries. So to round out this tour, I'm going to show you these 3 pots here, because they are not food. These are cut flowers, or they will be cut flowers when they grow. Again, these are on the porch because of the critters, because of the deer and the other animals that come along. So I'm going to let these grow here, and this way, when they grow up, we can cut them, put them in a vase or a vase, however you prefer to say it, and we'll have fresh cut flowers to go with everything else that that's growing up in here. This was, I don't want to say it was a failed experiment. It didn't fail, but I planted wildflowers in here last year, and well, there were more, but when the frugal duel came over the holidays with the grandbaby, they cut some of these flowers and they put them in a vase. So they cut probably the prettiest ones, the best ones. So what I did was I have a bunch of seeds, and I just replanted the seeds in these bare spaces. The frugal son-in-law cut all this. He had a big job on his hands because this hadn't been cut for a while. So you can see where all this has just been cut. At any rate, I have more seeds in here, more seeds in here. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because I have high hopes that with all the rain we've been getting, that this will all fill in, and I will have a flower garden, which will look natural. And that will help, again, bring in the bees. That's what I'm looking for. Bring in the bees, bring in the hummingbirds, bring in the butterflies, and pollinate everything that I'm growing behind me. So I'm trying to think if there's anything that I am leaving out, and I don't think there is. So on the next video, I'll show you guys what's going on in here, because this is kind of a secret. This is kind of special. So I'm giving you a little tease. There's plenty going on in here. I mean, a month ago, this wasn't even fenced off. And now it's really, it's ripping, it's raring to go. So I don't want to show you too much of it today. And having said that, this is where I'm going to leave it. I'm the Frugal Gardener. Thank you again for joining. Please share this video. Please subscribe, because I'm going to be growing things that may interest you. I'm going to be growing things that you may not have thought about growing yourself, or you may want to try yourself, so we can grow them together. At any rate, I've taken up enough of you guys' time for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember what I always tell you. When you grow your own food, you'll always know where it comes from. Catch you guys in a few days with a new video. Have a great day.